Talk about planning. So, are you into planning? Yeah? Not so much. But as they say, it's all in the planning. So, what's it all about? See, Eisenhower said, plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. So, maybe there's something we don't have quite clear here. So planning gives you the framework and structure to allow you to execute even when things might change. And that's the power of real planning. There are three main planning options that you can choose from. But before we get there, I just want to talk about the things you need to do before you start planning. And that is to see through the stages of building your business. Seeing those stages clearly will allow you to plan properly. So you have brainstorming, you have a Gantt chart, and you have meditating. Obviously the last one is the least structured, but really you just need to find the one that suits you. So whatever method you decide to use, your main aim is to get from A to B, and that is really what you're looking for. Whatever method, you just want to be able to take those steps that you might be able to see in building your business and transfer them into the method that you're using. So if you're brainstorming and you've got your branches in place, a Gantt chart, or even just meditating, you've got to be able to see those steps clearly. So hopefully you'll be able to see that planning is not about a rigid or a certain type of structure. It's whatever suits you and whatever works. So you can decide how much information is at each part of your plan, and that can allow you to have control of what goes on. One thing that's really important and a clear sign of a good plan is that you should be able to look back over your plan in months. Obviously your plan is not going to be just a short period of time. It could overlap into months and months of the whole life of building your business. If you're happy with the plan at a certain stage, you should be able to return to it, evaluate against what you initially planned for. So inevitably, unfortunately, things aren't always going to go to plan, or even the most relaxed and free plan you might have. But the great thing is, if you get a jolt, at least you'll know what is going on. I guess that's the best thing about planning, is that it gives you that peace to come back to. Even in a rough storm of sorts, you'll be able to come back and know where you are in the business. That will reduce any risk of you feeling out of control and unable to continue and finish up with your business and release your product or service. And then you're ready to go, marketing and reaching out to people. I had set up a Gantt chart for one of my clients, developing some audio hardware that's actually should be coming out the beginning of 2017. But we had already had a agency to deal with some of our development, and that wasn't going so well. But I already had in place knowing that development was going to take a certain amount of time. So even though we weren't particularly successful with that particular agency, we knew that we had time. We were still looking for other people, other agencies to fill their space, but we knew that the milestone, the deadline of that particular section was in a month and a half. So actually, even though we had a setback, the planning, or a Gantt chart, which is probably one of the most rigid approaches to planning, allowed us successfully to weather that and move ahead. We found another agency and we're good to go. So one last story to illustrate the importance of planning. One company doing a lot of e-commerce projects didn't really have a plan. So they were going from one plan to another, one idea to another, not really following through. There was no plan, there was no vision to the process they needed to go through to actually achieve sales and development and prepare the team for real success. So we didn't actually get a chance to go through exactly what I mean by brainstorming and Gantt charts and meditating on these ideas, but maybe I'll put up another video that will cover those three areas, and we can discuss a great deal more. Next week we'll discuss financing, the complexity of it and how to win.